What does your dad think of your music? Does he like it?
Yeah, he's very supportive. I mean, he doesn't always like everything, but he's probably been the harshest critic.
Yeah. What does he tell you?
Well, I think sometimes he doesn't like something and then he grows to like it, or the opposite, or he likes it and then he grows to hate it.
But can you name me one thing that he advised you about songwriting?
Yeah, he's a lot of advice really, and a lot of things he's always talked about. Diction, pronouncing words properly, trying to write about different things. I mean, we have an ongoing conversation, so okay. All sorts. You know.
I was thinking maybe the one thing that really stick to your mind. But
I would say that diction is one of them. Okay. You know, diction.
Well, you had a band with your brothers
yeah.
During your teens, and your sister also is into music. But why did you move to London when you were 19? Was it because of the music, or just do studies, or?
I moved to London when I was 19 to go to art school. To music school. I left art school and then went to music school in London. And I went there really just to try and get into music more. Before that I was at art school doing fine art painting. And my older brother was living in London working with film. So I lived with him for a bit. And then I just studied, I mainly became a guitar player. I became like a session guitar player.
Who did you play for? Okay.
Well, I played for loads of sort of... all I remember doing was I played a lot of, not only other people's stuff, but I played a lot of my own stuff as well. But the people that I played for was mainly like bands who just got signed and they needed a guitar player. It was very much through record companies. So
no famous...
not really, no one that's...
Backing Amy Winehouse, for example?
No one stuck around, but I did that for a bit, but I then realised that I didn't really want to just be a guitar player, so as time went on I was always writing and stuff, so I just tried to learn more about writing and, you know, just to find your voice, you know, sometimes it takes a long time.
When did you first think, well, I have my own voice now? Do you recall? That you thought, well, now it's time for me to try to, well, pursue an own career? So maybe one song that you wrote, you think...
I would probably say that strangely enough, it was quite late, when I was about 27, and I wrote a song and recorded it, and I felt like it was a very honest representation of who I was. It was a song called In Verona. It was a song which is on the first album called Feather and Stone. And yeah, I suppose it took me a while to find my voice. I mean,
How come? Do you know?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I think it's one of those random things, you know. Someone like Amy Winehouse finds their voice a lot younger, you know. But for me, I don't know, maybe it was because just my personality is such that, and the music that I write is in a certain way requires a certain element of age, I don't know. But I think that I also hadn't specifically come to London to be a singer. You know, I'd only really took singing seriously sort of in my mid-20s, so I had to learn how to sing, and I had to learn how my voice, what it was, and I'd been a guitar player, you know, really that's what I'd done. I mean, I'd always sung, but I hadn't taken it like, you know, that seriously.
But could you listen to your own voice?
I mean, I still find it difficult sometimes to listen to my own voice.
Yeah, because people say you really have good voice, so it's funny that, you know, I know...
Yeah. Well, you tell me, you just heard it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, but do you know what people... Well, can you see what people like about your voice and your music? Or is view totally different because, well, it's your own voice?
I think I can understand why people would relate to it. I don't know whether it's... I suppose one's own voice... I mean, I suppose all of it comes down to soul, really. Yeah. If something's projecting soul, then it doesn't really matter what timbre it is.
So what wells do you dig from then? From inside? Wells? I mean soul.
Well.
Yeah, soul is really, well, from the soul.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I suppose I just...
Love?
Yeah. I mean, fundamentally, all forms of love are the general... I mean, it sounds like a cliche, but, you know, that is the most powerful thing in the world as far as I'm concerned. So if you don't sing with love, then what are you giving out? Unless you're giving out anger, which can be just as effective. You know, you can be really angry and sing in an angry way. But I still think even when you're singing with anger, there's a lot of love. Because you're putting a lot of love behind that anger to create the anger, you know?
I think anger anger comes from loving someone but being hurt.
Yeah, I mean, anger is a result of being
hurt.
hurt. Therefore, you've had experienced love in the first place.
Yeah.
Or the lack of it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think even if you're singing, whether you're singing a love song or whether you're singing a, you know, a much darker song, if you're singing it with soul, fundamentally it's... Excuse me.
Distortion.
Oh, yeah, I bet, yeah.
No problem.
I've been feeling like I've got a cold coming on.
Okay, well then.